Welcome to the virtual booth of Humphreys Co solicitors at the London Home Show. This talk is on buying a new build property with the Help to Buy scheme. So shared ownership is the focus of the show, and it can be a great way of purchasing your own brand new home. But there are also other government schemes available to help you achieve the goal of buying a brand new property. And today we're going to focus on the Help to Buy equity loan scheme, which is the main government scheme available for doing that. I'm James Forgham, a staff lawyer in the residential property team here at Humphreys Co solicitors, and a very large part of the team's work that we do here is in relation to shared ownership properties and brand new shared ownership properties, but we also deal with all kinds of new build purchases, whether or not including the Help to Buy funding scheme. So what is the Help to Buy equity loan scheme? The scheme allows you to borrow up to 20% outside of London or 40% within Greater London towards the purchase price of a new build property from a builder that's registered with the scheme, an eligible builder. The property can have a full market value of up to £600,000. The property can be either freehold or a leasehold, which means it could be a house or it could be a flat. That's an important difference from the shared ownership scheme, in that a shared ownership property will almost always be offered on a leasehold basis to you. There are some changes to the Help to Buy equity loan scheme taking place at the end of March next year. At the moment, you do not have to be a first-time buyer to qualify. You can have owned a property before, but to qualify for the equity loan scheme, you do have to intend to live in the property that you're buying and not own any other properties at the same time. So Help to Buy property can't be used as a buy-to-let investment, for example. On the 1st of April 2021, the scheme is going to be changed so that it will only be available to first-time buyers, and the value of properties outside of London that can be used to purchase under the scheme will be reduced on a sliding scale, and in London it will remain at £600,000. If you did want to proceed with buying a new build property under the Help to Buy equity loan scheme, you would need to reserve that property with the builder that's offering it for sale. Generally, when doing that, you pay an initial reservation deposit of £500, and then you'd be required to instruct a mortgage advisor to organise the financials for you, and you should instruct an experienced and specialist lawyer who's knowledgeable about the Help to Buy scheme to manage the transaction for you. To finance the purchase under the Help to Buy scheme, there are three elements to it. You take out a main mortgage with a commercial mortgage lender, so your likes of Halifax and Nationwide and so on, and that would be between 25 and 75% of the value of the property, depending on your intentions. You must provide your own cash deposit of at least 5% of the purchase price. So there's an example on the screen here of how the financing structure for Help to Buy equity loan purchase can operate. So this example is for a property at £400,000 in London. So your 5% cash deposit for you to fund would be £20,000. The government 40% equity loan, in this case, would be £160,000, and you would then have a remaining 55% to fund from your main mortgage, from your what we call your main mortgage, your first mortgage. So that's a little on the financials. A bit more here on the workings of the scheme. We've talked about mortgages. The equity loan operates as a second mortgage, and that's provided by Homes England, the body responsible for the Help to Buy scheme, and the mortgage is secured on your home in the same way that the first mortgage from the bank is. So we'd have two mortgages on the property. There's a separate scheme available in Wales that Help to Buy. Wales operates a similar scheme with some slight variations in the rules. And if you were looking for property in Wales, then you can ask us about that. The equity loan is interest-free for an initial period of 5 years, after which, from year 6 onwards, there can be some interest payable and some other administrative charges that you may have to pay. The Help to Buy equity loan becomes repayable to the government on a future sale or remortgage of the property at the end of the term of 25 years if you still own the property at that point, or at any time if you request to pay off the property loan if you manage to raise some more finance and perhaps remortgage and pay off the government loan. The amount that you repay is calculated with reference to the original value of the property and the share that you borrowed. So if you borrowed 20% of the value of the property, you repay 20%. In our example of a London property where you've borrowed 40% of £400,000, £160,000, if the property value had increased by the time you come to repay to £500,000 and you were repaying your 40%, you would then be repaying £200,000 to the government. So that's a whistle-stop tour of how the Help to Buy Equity Loan Scheme works. It's a very good scheme. There are quite a lot of rules attached, and you can obtain some further guidance about that from the Help to Buy website, from the government website, for which has quite a useful FAQ section. Whilst we're here, I've mentioned there are some other government schemes in place that are designed to assist you with saving the deposit element of a new property or any home, such as the Help to Buy ISA and the Lifetime ISA. These schemes can be used in conjunction with the Help to Buy Equity Loan Scheme and other things. So if you're buying a brand new property, you can have a Help to Buy Equity Loan and a Help to Buy ISA, for example. The Help to Buy ISA scheme actually closed to new applicants in November 2019. So I won't talk about it in detail here, but if you do already have a Help to Buy ISA in place, you can close that account, obtain 25% government bonus money to top up your deposit when buying a new property. And the Lifetime ISA, that scheme is still running and works in a similar way. Myself and my colleagues here at Humphreys Co also deal with the Help to Buy ISA and the Lifetime ISA. We've plenty of experience of that, and if you had any questions about those schemes, then you can direct them to us. You'll see that we're here for questions. There's a live chat function available during the day. You can click on my tab and put any questions you'd like to me on this topic. I'll do my best to answer your question. Also, there are some contact details at the bottom of the screen, our general email address and telephone number that you could use to contact us for a quotation or to discuss any particular questions that you may have. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the London Home Show, and if you do have anything that you would like to ask us, then do please contact us.